Whether you believe in God, the universe, karma, there's something you believe in, and I know it. There's a reason you stumbled across this video, and only those who this video is going to resonate with are going to sit through it and listen. So if you're that person, sit back and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm making this video because once upon a time I felt extremely broken, depressed, suicidal, lonely, all sorts of things, anxious, overthinking. I wasn't leading my mind was completely leading me. But now I'm 29 years old. I'm living alone in my beautiful two-bedroom flat with a great view. I've got a tight circle of friends. I've got a friend who's really close, who I consider a brother in my life, and my family situation is great. I'm getting closer to my sister, and I'm building a business that is centered around my purpose. And I'm not making this from a place of being broken anymore. I'm making it because I remember what broken felt like, and I know that someone watching this video has either gone through the same thing or is in that hole, and this video is for them. I was always a hyper and happy kid, really, but I think through school and society, I ended up being put down and bullied. There was social pressure, etc. I made myself small, and I started to feel invisible. I started to be uncomfortable in my own skin. I didn't really know who I was. I was trying to fit in like everyone does at some point in their life. I was trying to be impressing people. I needed self-validation. I needed validation from other people to know that I was good enough. And I remember when I was a teenager, one comment from somebody, it would loop in my head for days if something negative was said. And my confidence was just so low. I had no self-esteem. And this only got worse as I got older. And then I went to university, and it all just got so much worse there. I could see the conveyor belt, everybody on it. I knew that the life that I really didn't want was coming after me, and that was to live a standard 9 to 5, like everybody else does, make nothing of my life. And I just started escaping because I knew this reality was coming. I could see everyone around me, they were going to do the same thing. And I started escaping through drugs, alcohol, women, validation, and I started fantasizing about my funeral, who would grieve, whether anyone would miss me. I woke up every day depressed. Every single day I would fantasize. It almost became like a silly comfort. And the dark part is exactly that. It felt exactly like comfort. Being in that state, it felt so familiar because I'd felt like that for such a long time. It felt comfortable, and it almost felt safe in a sense because it was all I knew for such a long time. But it was a snowball that only got worse. But I'm here to tell you that not only did I make it through, but I am who I am today. And if you're watching this video, maybe you already know who I am, or maybe this is the first video that you've watched of mine. But I'm so far from that place, and this is why I'm making this video, because it's difficult for me to talk about the past because I suffered so much. But I know that there's somebody out there who's gone through the same thing or is going through the same thing, and me not telling my story is not doing anybody any favors. If I tell my story and somebody relates and they see, hey, look, this person went through this thing and they came out stronger, maybe I can do that. And it's not a maybe, you can. And I've done it. I'm so far from that place, and I'm actually helping other people get out of that place through coaching. And people look at me and they think, oh, he's so in control of his emotions, he's so stoic. Trust me, I would cry myself to sleep, and my emotions ran the game all the time. So the fact that I can do that, and I'm a walking testament of doing that, and I have done that, I know that if you're watching this video and you're going through the same thing, you can do it as well. I remember when I was around 21, I walked into a martial arts gym for the first time. I knew that I lacked confidence and maybe learning how to defend myself, because I've been picked on and I was always skinny growing up. Not very skinny now, but anyway, I thought that would fix my problems. And so I it took a lot of courage for me at the time because I was quite antisocial and I was afraid of what people would think of me. But I said, fuck it, I'm going to go to this martial arts gym anyway. And it was one of the best things I've ever done. But I was so terrible. And I remember I went to a trial and I really enjoyed it. And I wanted to do one on one coaching because I was too afraid of doing it in a group. And I wanted that to kind of be a bridge. So, anyway, I started training and I was training a lot. I was training 5 hours a week. I think I was having like 2 hour sessions for a couple of days in the week, or like an hour session every day at some point, whatever I could fit in, because I had university at the same time. And I was so bad and I was so stubborn because I hated being bad at something. I wanted to get better because usually I'd pick things up really quickly. I would train my ass off. And over time, it proved something to myself that had nothing to do really with fighting. And it was that I was capable of doing something so difficult and becoming someone through it, because the training, it was pretty brutal for somebody who's never fought before, and I was learning so much about myself and my fitness and all, because at the time I had just started going to the gym as well. I was training to look good though. I think many of us can relate to that. I started going to the gym because I wanted validation. I wanted to have a six pack and I wanted to look good because I thought that would make me feel enough. And it worked temporarily, but then it stopped working because the problem was never really physical. It wasn't about me. I could lose my physique tomorrow and I still have what I have up here. A lot of the people watching this right now need to hear that. Maybe you need to hear that. You can build your body all you want, but if you don't build your mind, you don't build self leadership up here, then it's never going to be enough. There's so many people who are in great shape who are insecure, and it's never enough for them. And anyway, going back to the martial arts, that led to me becoming a coach. I remember my coach, Keith, he he asked me if I wanted to assist in coaching kids classes, and I jumped to the idea. I was like, yes, I want to do that, of course. And I noticed that through coaching, I could just be myself. And I had a way of explaining things, not so much to kids, more to adults, because when it comes to adults and what we teach in self-defense, it's quite different, right? It's a lot more brutal and there's a lot more theory behind it. Whereas with kids, it's more doing. But anyway, I noticed that I could explain things really fast and people would pick those things up much quicker. So beginners who are struggling with certain techniques would be able to pick those up much quicker had I explained it to them. And I think the reason why is because I had to take the long road myself. So I knew how to explain it to somebody who was really struggling. And I also started to coach and work with a physical empowerment community interest company that was focused on sort of rehabilitating and helping women who had been in domestic violence situations. I was helping to support them go through that, building boundaries. It was sort of a form of therapy through self-defense, if we say it loosely. And that also healed a part of my inner child because I'd been through domestic violence myself. And so through supporting women who'd been through that, kind of helped me as well. And I knew that these women really appreciated it. So I think the one big thing that changed my life was finding my purpose, because when you don't have that and you see that you've been boxed in to this forced life of go to school, work 9 to 5, die, maybe retire before you die, and live like everybody else, do the same shit everybody else is doing, don't accomplish anything special. That just terrified me completely, because we only have one life, guys. We only have one life, and what, we're just gonna live through being stuck in an office doing something you hate for money just to survive. Like that is literally slavery. That's being stuck in the matrix. And I didn't want that for myself. I'd rather die. And you know, finding my purpose changed that because I had something to live for. Whereas before I didn't have anything to live for because I was stuck in the matrix. And here's the part of the video that's going to give you some hope, because who I was then, that little kid who was technically an adult and really struggling through life. This past year alone, I've been through health crisis. I've had 3 surgeries. Sorry, I have 2 surgeries, and I've been in hospital 3 times for bowel obstruction, which is a serious thing. You can die from it. And I had to have surgery 2 times. Once was last year, and then I had to have another surgery 2 months later. And right before this, I'd gone through a breakup. I used to live here actually with my ex, where I'm living now, and those things completely broke me. But I was able to go through them. Actually, they didn't break me. That's the whole point. They were extremely painful, and I would probably resorted to drugs, suicidal ideation, self-loathing had this happened when I was 21. Actually, and I think even 10% of this would have sent me off. But anyway, this past year alone, I've gone through all those things: family problems, grief. I lost a dog before the breakup, and then I had the breakup, and then I had the surgeries, and then I had a car crash. And I went through it differently. I went through it smiling, not because it wasn't hard, but because I'm not who I used to be anymore. I don't even label myself as, if I feel sad, I don't label it as depression. I don't give it a label, because it doesn't need a label. It's a day. You can have a bad day. You can move on through things. That is what self-leadership actually looks like in practice. It's being able to go through the storm and fight through it. Be grounded instead of falling. It's not about getting rid of the storm. It's about being able to lead yourself through it. Because there's always going to be a storm. There's always going to be negative things that happen in your life, whether you like it or not. Life is 80% of what you do and 20% of what happens to you. And all my life, I've really struggled with trusting people. I've always felt like people are untrustworthy and people don't stick around for long. There's always that chance that somebody's going to betray you. And at this point in time, I have people who I genuinely trust. I'm talking about 100% trust. There's no doubt there at all. Women feel safe around me, not because I perform or anything, but because I did the work, and I think it shows. I think masculine and safe are not opposites. I'm not afraid to be vulnerable, which is why I'm making this video. And if you're still watching this video, I'm sure you feel the same way in a sense. Whether you're a man or a woman, you feel like I understand you, because I do. I've been there, and I'm not afraid to be vulnerable. And I think that there's all this bullshit perpetuated on the internet that men can't show emotion, and if you show emotion, you're weak. And you see men opening up, and when they shed a tear, this you straight away you go to the comments and people are making fun of them. But to be honest, me making this video right now, me being vulnerable and me like getting choked up a little bit with my throat, I don't give a shit. I am expressing my truth, and actually, I wouldn't be able to have done this years ago, but I got stronger and now I can. So that disproves it. That disproves that being vulnerable as a man is a weakness. And when you're able to do this, people trust you. Women feel safe around you because you've got nothing to hide. And I've got nothing to hide. I'm showing my scars. I'm telling you what I've been through because I know I'm not alone. And I always thought I was alone. And perhaps you're watching this video and you think you're alone. I promise you, you're not that unique. People are out there who are going through the same thing, or have gone through the same thing. They've made it out, which means you can, no matter how futile it feels. Because I'm telling you, I felt like it was impossible for me to get through. I knew it was impossible at the time. I knew it in my mind, but I was wrong. I didn't think I'd make it past the age of 23. I thought the depression was inevitably gonna finish me. And I'm 29, going on 30, and life is the best it's ever been. So if I can do it, like I said before in the video, you can as well. So if you're waking up every day and you're getting through it for other people and not yourself, because there was a point in time where I was only alive because I knew mum, dad, friends, family. If I took my life, they would suffer. And that's kind of the only thing that kept me alive, but I'm grateful for that. And perhaps you don't have any of those people in your life right now, but by ending it, by giving up, that is a permanent decision to a temporary problem. And I'm telling you, how you feel is temporary. You can get out of it. You might not see that right now, but you can. Not only will you get out of it, but you can become the complete opposite. Imagine that feeling. Imagine this polar opposite of how you feel right now. That is possible. And I'm proof of that. So if this video landed, send me a message on Instagram. I'd love to talk to people and offer any insight or support that I can. Maybe you want to work with me. If you're able to work with me, then we can do that as well. But the last thing I really want to say is to the person who's watching this, especially if you got this far into the video, I know what it feels like to feel alone, to feel invisible, to feel like your life doesn't matter, and to feel weak, to feel like if you're a man, I'm speaking from a man's perspective, I felt very emasculated because of the way that I was feeling. I felt like I was basically a little girl in the body of a man, and that was, I remember my mum saying, "You're a man, you need to be stronger than this." And I think she meant well, and she was trying to get me to be strong, but that was emasculating. But the fact that I got through it, you can as well. Man, woman, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your situation is. And stay alive for the curiosity, because I really had no idea I would be where I am today. And I know life is only going to get better. Your thoughts become your reality. Whatever thought you have, negative thoughts, positive thoughts, the more you dwell on those, the more your reality shifts. If you tell yourself, I can't be depressed, you're not going to be depressed. It's impossible. God forbid something bad happens tomorrow, somebody dies, or I get hurt. If I tell myself I can't be depressed, I won't feel it. If I tell myself, oh, today's a sad day. Yes, it's a sad day. Everybody has a sad day. Today I had a bit of an emotional day. I don't know why it just happened, which is part of the reason why I'm making the video. I'm going with the flow. If I told myself, "Oh, I'm depressed," I put a label on it, I'm gonna become depressed. So don't label your emotions. They don't need to mean anything. Step back, observe them, look at them from a third person view, and it's not that deep. Look at it from a third person view. Look at them objectively instead of emotionally. And know that this feeling will pass, and it will also allow you to appreciate the good, because that's what life is about, the good and bad. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. It's been a bit of a ramble, but if it resonated with you at all, hit me up. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you're that one person who this video really hit in the soul, then it was all worth it. It was all worth it for me to make this video. And I'm still getting used to talking to the camera. This is unscripted. I've made a few notes that I'm glancing at, but yeah, bye for now.